everyone. Welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Britt Morin.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi,
Welcome.
Today we're going to talk about royal holiday cards, rapper Kanye West's Twitter rampage, and Brit & Co.'s DIY ideas for last-minute holiday gifts. Plus, private investigator Townsend stops by to discuss her true crime podcast, Hell and Gone. But first,
there's no better way to brighten up a winter Monday than with some booze.
Woo!
However you celebrate, fun holiday cocktails are always a good idea. Here to make some for the table is award-winning mixologist and cocktail expert Pam Wiznitzer.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, I thought we'd start with some cocktails.
What do we have here?
Yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers. First off, cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
I love my job.
Sorry,
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Woo! Yeah, 5 o'clock somewhere.
Cheers.
So half the table has a really amazing cocktail called a cup of cheer. It's sort of a play on a mudslide, but much more elevated. We're using Crystal Head vodka, which comes from Newfoundland and Canada. It's
There's a
really
lot
delicious.
of cheer in here.
Tons
Oh my
of
God,
cheer in
this
there.
is strong
We're using-
as hell. You're trying to fuck me up.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes,
I love
Pam!
this.
I was
That's
shocked
what's up.
by that.
Oh my God, good morning.
Good night.
Do you think it was aperitif time? I mean, I know you can handle this.
You're treating us very well, Pam. We appreciate it.
I'm here to make everything happen this holiday season. So we have a little bit of a vodka in there. We've got Crystal Head vodka from Newfoundland, Canada. Then we have something called Broncamenta, which is an amazing Amaro with a lot of mintiness on it. So you're getting that holiday cheer in there, you're getting that mint note in there. Yeah, and then to top it off, we've got Kerrygold Irish cream. So an Irish cream with a touch of chocolate in it. And it's Kerrygold, so it's like some of the best cream that's on the market. Yeah, and some chocolate shavings on top because you really need to make sure the chocolate's really tied in. And the other half of the table, we've got a cran fizz over here. So for the home entertainer, this is a great drink to start anybody off with. We're just using Deep Eddy vodka, which is an all-natural vodka with a cranberry in it, and topped with some Prosecco. And just throw a few cranberries in there, dried or fresh. Really beautiful. It's a great way to put it out on the table for everybody.
I'm gonna need a refill.
If you're,
I mean,
you're
we've got
gonna need
more.
a refill. If you're anxious, this will knock you out.
I am going to start slurring my words, so cheers to the freaking weekend, everyone.
So wait, what are you making over there now?
I mean, I didn't think 2 cocktails were enough, right?
Okay,
You
why
guys
not?
need, we
Oh,
need
God, I
another
love
one,
you.
right? So I'm gonna teach you how to make a drink called a winter elixir. The fun thing about making cocktails at home is the ability to entertain your friends and also make something that's really fresh and wonderful. A few key rules. First off, you need to have fresh citrus. So I'm gonna show you, it's so easy just to cut open a lime and to squeeze it. I don't want you to buy that bottled stuff, okay? Just promise me, everyone right here, right?
Promise.
Promising?
I swear.
Thank you so much. It takes a lot out of that. So, as you can see, it's easy just to get a little hand. There you go. Scout's honor, right?
Yep.
Scout's honor season.
Sorry.
So we are just going to be juicing 0.75 ounces, so 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. I'm going to double up this recipe because I want to make sure everyone really gets to try it.
I can
Yeah,
tell you
and
I could double up the recipe.
And this is nice because it's more of a tart drink. It's a sour drink. So as I put it on the table, we've got one sparkling drink. We've got one drink that's a little bit more cream-based, which is definitely a holiday season favorite, and something that's sour. So when you are home entertaining, make sure you take care of all your guests and you put everyone's needs in front of you. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So here we have a little demerara sugar. For those who need to know, demerara is sort of an unrefined, unwashed sugar, so it's got a little bit more umph to it. It's got a little bit
Dirty
more
sugar.
flavor. Dirty sugar. And we're gonna do half an ounce of that, so we're gonna put a full ounce in here because I'm doubling everything. But then we get to the booze, right?
Yeah, bring it on.
The fun part about this cocktail.
Lucas is so excited.
Yeah.
So clapping the booze.
It's only Monday, and he's like, Saturday's wrong!
It's just a continuation of the weekend, guys. That's all we're doing
Don't
here.
I know it?
So we're
can
gonna
go to bed
start
on
with
Friday.
Fernet Branca. So if you know anything about Amaro, Fernet Branca really kickstarted that trend back here in America. Started in San Francisco, came all the way back over to the East Coast.
Fernet, though, is big in South America.
It's
I had it
really
for the-
big,
it's
Fernet
really
and Coke.
strong.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
it's really good.
Yeah, so we're doing a half an ounce of that. It's the winter time, so we need some spice notes. Have anyone had chartreuse before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, fabulous. So this is yellow chartreuse, which has loads of botanicals and it's beautiful, beautiful spirit. We're gonna be adding 3/4 of an ounce of that, so I'm doubling that up in here as well. And then finally, the star of the show is gonna be the gin. Gin lovers over here?
we go.
Oh, yeah.
Gin lovers in the house? Anyone?
Woo! I have a tattoo to my lower back. I love
The
it.
cran fizz is kicking in.
It's doing the work. It's making it fun for
So as
morning.
you're throwing in that gin, how did you find this love of making holiday cocktails?
Oh, I think the love is making cocktails all year round. But I think it's really the fact that the way that people love having a drink in their hand and the way that they feel when you entertain them with something so beautiful that you've crafted is what's so amazing about a great cocktail, right?
Do you have a favorite?
A favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever drink I make for my guests is my favorite.
For the holidays.
Oh man, I like bubbly things. I like creamy drinks. So just some.
Okay, but cran fizz versus, which one is this?
Ooh.
Cup of cheer.
Yeah.
Pick one.
What?
Clearly it's 3 against 2.
I'm gonna go cup of cheer, but
Yeah.
that's because it's my
This is our
cocktail.
mob boss interviewing. Pick a favorite, okay? You got 1 second.
That's it. Split
that.
second decision. So we have the Amalfi gin that's going to come from northern Italy. So we're using northern juniper, Italian juniper in that. We've got some lowball glasses. We're going to get that prep with some ice all up in there. You know, yeah. Nice and nice ice. You can also special order ice during the holiday season. You can always look out for that. The most important part about making a cocktail is shaking. Any of you want to come help me shake? Anyone?
Shake it like a Polaroid
Brittany,
picture.
Yeah,
Brittany really jumped up.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you put one hand on the top, one hand on the bottom. Make sure the ice goes up and down the whole way. Yes, there we go.
Oh my
We killed it.
God.
I'm gonna finish it off a little bit. So thinking about shake. No, stay right here.
One-handed shake.
Yeah.
That's the next
Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
confident
you
enough to
need
do the
to show
one-handed.
up
It's
my
okay.
friend,
You don't have to. But the best part of shaking is being able to make a smiley face in the shaker, and that's when you know it's cold enough. It's a little home trick.
fact.
So, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I need you to stay here because we're gonna have you help bring over the drinks to the
Okay,
table.
perfect.
Yeah. So when you're straining, make sure that you hold back all the ice that's in the drink. You see, it's really lovely color.
That looks amazing.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's really, the other part about drinking is it's all about aesthetics, so make sure your drinks are really beautifully colored as well.
Yeah.
All right?
No brown
Yes!
No
right?
brown drinks.
Yes. No brown drink. Then if you do
Nice.
have a brown drink, you can use like mugs or something else
Yeah.
to cover that up.
You
That's
want
why
to show brown in a
tiki
glass.
mugs
That's
exist.
boring.
All right, and then we're just gonna finish it off with a little dusting of some powdered sugar on top. Fun thing about the holiday season is a lot of spices, a lot of sugars, a lot of things like chocolate, like we have great on top, are really great toppings. So as opposed to other times here, we use fresh fruit, things like blackberries. It's not really the season for that right now, but we can use other ingredients. So that's going to be your winter elixir, if you want to bring that.
I have a question. I don't know if you can tell, but I occasionally like to drink. But I don't know how to make drinks. I just really just consume them. So what are tips you have people like me who like to drink but don't know how to make any drinks, especially with the holiday cocktails? If I wanted to go make one on my own, like this is amazing. I would love to know how to make that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you just saw, like a drink like that is 5 ingredients. It's really easy. A few tips. First off, have fresh quality ingredients. Don't skim on anything. Make sure that you're having, the highest quality spirits, the highest quality produce, the highest quality herbs and spices. The second thing is try to do something that you can either prep ahead of time in a big pitcher for people. That way when they all come over, you can just divvy it out right when they come through the door. A drink like the Cran Fizz is amazing because all I did was, before you guys walked in, is I poured an ounce of the vodka into the glass and I topped it off with some really chilled sparkling wine and then added the garnish. And it looks really festive and it looks like it took a million hours, right?
Beautiful.
It's effortless. So it's really amazing. It's really good to think about effortless drinking. Same thing with the cup of cheer. It's all built in the glass and then topped with the crushed ice. So you could already have it pre-mixed, ready to go. Pour it on some ice.
Well, Pam,
Ready
thank you
to go.
so much for joining us
Thank
today
you guys.
and getting us
Cheers.
properly lit up on a Monday.
Yeah.
To learn more about Pam and her holiday cocktails, head to Twitter and follow @Pamela Wiznitzer for more information. Thanks again, Pam.
Can you pass that drink so I get a little taste? As you pass
It's
that,
really good.
I think,
One
and as
last
we're
sip.
Is
It's
it like
really good.
sip it.
We're like a Catholic church where we each.
Yeah, sure. Yes, it's communion.
May peace be with you.
While we're drinking, but not tea, but we got to talk about Cardi B and Offset this past weekend,
Yeah.
where he interrupted her performance to forgive me, Cardi. What do you guys think?
Did you guys see that video?
Did you-
Everybody? Yeah.
She was performing in California, and he got on stage with flowers that basically spelled out take me back, Cardi, right?
Yeah.
And she, off mic, was basically get off the fucking stage.
Yeah, it was a grand gesture because it's very clear to this point that he was unfaithful. She decided that was enough.
That is delicious.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
she said that they're getting divorced, and so we know all of this, and then he shows up unannounced, and she looked very upset. It did not look like something she wanted to participate in publicly. So that's where I think it's a little hard to feel for him, because it's
Yeah.
you put that in front of the world.
But we knew on the show, we said it here, that we were gonna see something like this.
Yeah.
It felt too soon for her to cut him off in the way she did, even though I think it was good of her.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I'm so not surprised by this. This is so orchestrated, and obviously someone in her camp had to know about this. You don't just get clearance onto Cardi B's stage.
Agree, and that's what the festival said, that it's up to the headliners and their camps to decide. I mean, I think it was incredibly rude and a classic of like a man just to be like, screw her performance that she's practiced and worked hard for. I'm gonna interrupt it so she can forgive me in front of the whole world, and everyone forgives me that I cheated and she dumped me. It was a very selfishly immature, motivated action.
And a lot of people felt that way and were attacking him on social media. She actually then took to her social media to say, please stop attacking him.
Right.
That's not what this is about. Like, we share a child together.
My baby father.
Yeah, my baby father. I love him. You know, like, we have to raise this child together. Please stop attacking him. So she even then had to go out of her way to defend him on top of his mistake.
Yeah, I really liked, first, that video was so sad to watch because you can see she's tearing up. She's obviously really upset by all of his actions, the cheating, and then now this whole parade of manipulation where he's trying to basically make her feel guilty for standing up for herself, which I support her 100%. It's not like you cheated once. Their relationship is not old. It's not like they lost communication. Like, he is not a good partner to her at all, okay? Like, that is, if you're cheating on your mother, your baby's mother, like, it's just, you're the shittiest human. I'm sorry, you're trash, and you don't deserve to be taken back, especially not, like, overnight for, like, some little, like, parade you're running. But I really liked her point that she made where she said, like, the same people who are talking crap about him are the same women who are gonna try to have sex with him, are the same guys who are gonna try to hang out with him. And it's like, you guys are hypocritical. You're out there, like, talking crap about him, but you are also the same people that he's actively out there cheating with. So it's like, you guys need to cool it and stay out of their business.
I just thought it was, yes, I agree with that. Snaps. I just thought it was like rude to be interrupted when you're in like the creative process. Like I was in a meeting one time and my husband came in and I was like, what are you doing? Like I'm in the flow, I'm like trying to get something
This is my
done.
space.
And he wasn't even asking for me to come back to him. So like, I can't imagine what she was like, you know, and I think that also if you watch the video, like literally 2 seconds that he comes on stage, someone goes, don't take him back. Like the fans were cued for it.
Yeah, the world is on her side, I think, definitely.
I mean,
There's only one side.
He tweeted recently saying like, well, the breakup was public, so I thought I deserved the right to make like the apology public, which, again.
And then it ended in sheesh.
Well, no, he goes,
Like, sheesh.
I'm glad I didn't bring balloons. It's like the giant cake you brought wasn't like crazy enough.
Is there any appropriate way to get an ex back? Like, what do you guys think?
Maybe in private.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think respecting boundaries. Like, she's been very clear about what she wants now. Like, I'm sure that she didn't just break up with him out of the blue. Like, he saw it coming. This isn't the first time he's cheated on her. This is the problem. It's not like he's like, oh, man, I was really out of it and I made this mistake. I trust her. I really trust that if she is making this huge decision, you could tell that she loves her daughter. And she knows that her daughter loves him. And she's trying to make it work. So if she's making that decision, we need to trust that she's absolutely thought this through, and I don't think anyone, including him, should pressure her to take him back.
I love your stances on this. You're right. I mean,
I hate cheaters. I hate cheaters.
Yeah. Can't tell how you really feel about it.
Yeah, I just think cheating is the worst thing you could do to a human being. It's so selfish. Literally, like, even if you've been together with someone for 45 years, I think, like, take that second, if you're gonna be a douche, take that second to send a text message and break up with them 2 seconds before you're about to penetrate someone.
I agree.
Like, don't be a fucking selfish person.
I agree. And again, knowing that it's gonna be so public. She's been the most public figure I think in music this year. So then doing that to her, knowing that everybody's gonna know about it is like it's an extra layer of deceit, it feels like.
And imagine if things were reversed. If Cardi B had cheated on him, no one would be in her corner being like, take her back. They'd be like, can't make a hoe a wife, you knew who she was. They would totally do that. Like, they would 100% just trash her. And I just think this is like male privilege at its finest.
Preach.
Absolutely.
Preach. Team Cardi.
Offset.
Team Cardi.
Team Cardi for life. Forget him.
Offset needs to sit down.
Well, in other words, don't give me alcohol. Joy to the world, because our favorite royals have released photos from their Christmas cards. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and 7-month-old baby Prince Louis can be seen stealing the show in Kate Middleton and Prince William's photo. Meanwhile, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are shown hand in hand in their card as fireworks erupt during their wedding reception.
Wow.
I love this picture. It literally seems like it's cut from a J. Crew catalog.
I know.
I mean, they're just the perfect.
Spawn.
Down to the Hunter boots.
Down to the perfect J. Crew family. I mean, of course, you all know Prince George is my idol.
But look at Charlotte. Look at Charlotte posing, like smizing.
Yeah.
Well, he's just trying to take the limelight for Prince George, and we know he is the star of the family.
Like
look
Kate's
at him.
body after 3 kids. I'm just like,
Right.
He looks great.
But also, Louis is just this little
Louis both
chunky
cute, but
nugget
also
that
looks like he's 45 years old, doesn't he?
He's so cute. I did not know that Louis existed. I don't pay attention to the royal family news very often, and so this was my reveal to Louis, and I asked Brittany this morning, how long has he been out?
Yeah.
She literally was like, how long has he been out? And I was like, of her uterus? Like,
This is
about
perfect.
7 months.
This is a perfect holiday card, and I think that the royal family is probably the only family that should have a holiday card. I do not need a holiday card from like the Morgans down the block with a letter about everything Jenna did in school that year. It is the most self-interested. I hate all
knew this
those
was gonna be a
people
divide.
who
I'm just deep
No,
breathing.
I'm sure you.
A pillow?
So every year.
I know you send out a book.
Well, at one time it was an ornament. This year it was lenticular, so the photos actually changed when you move it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, vocab word of
One
the
time
day.
it was a crossword puzzle.
Oh my God!
One time
I
it
hate
was-
people that do that.
One time it was 3D printed.
Why do you think people want that?
They give me text. They send me text messages every year that say they love my holiday.
People love them.
No, it's so sad.
Well,
People
there's a
make fun
degree.
of it
Do
at
you
home.
put like this? What happened this year? Is it more like pictures of the family?
No.
That's different. I
Except
didn't
for
see
the
different.
crossword puzzle.
Okay.
You gotta,
Family
figure out,
a lot.
you gotta be like, this is the name of the place we went on our anniversary this year.
You do that?
Okay, I do admire how the effort and the cleverness
No
of
one
that.
wants to do a crossword puzzle about your life. Though.
One time, a designer hand illustrated all of us on the front of our card.
So you had
This is
Michelangelo.
my problem I'm talking about. This is a problem.
We send it to 150 people.
Holy
Wow.
smokes, Britt.
I just
Wait,
think
are
everyone
we
wants
gonna
to
get
have
it this
Christmas
year?
I
cheer.
want
I
one.
think
I will send one to you.
Listen,
I want one.
I
want
think
one.
have extra. I can send you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want one.
You
I
like this
think-
and you get
I want one.
I think the photos can be nice if that's the tradition, but I think that like writing the long ass story.
Yeah, I don't
Newsletters
do that.
are a lot.
You know
Different.
what I mean? This
Yes,
is like,
I know families do that. It's
Are
obnoxious.
you crazy?
Like, we
are you
don't-
fucking crazy?
You're not the Obamas. We don't care. Yeah, I
You're
get it.
not-
Yeah.
Well, who are you?
Right.
I don't want to know. Like, you know what
You
happened
just
to me
put
this
the
year?
URL to your blog so they can read it all online.
Like, it's like-
That's what you do.
I think they're a little less important now because we have Instagram and Facebook, and
Yeah.
all I see are photos of my friends' kids on Facebook and Instagram. So when they send me the card, I'm like, I've seen your kid. I think they used to be more important.
That's why you do the crossword puzzle.
Yeah, that's
so there's like a little bit of an
To
interaction.
defend Brit, I actually there is some sort of like,
Don't go there, Lucas.
if you make it creative.
You're not getting a card
with
this year.
pictures.
You will.
My mom used to do it before my parents got divorced. I'm from a broken home, sad. But they used to send cards, and they were really funny. Some of them, and so I get it. They were funny. They were self-deprecating. That's the way my family did it.
Have you seen the single-person Christmas cards?
No, should I do that?
Yeah,
There's a trend.
Those are funny.
There is a trend. Just Google
Yeah.
single-person Christmas cards. Like,
Okay.
it's
I
very
will
funny.
say, if I sent out a card, I know exactly what to do. For my birthday, Shannon photoshopped a picture of me and Jessica Lange, and it said, "Happy birthday to my favorite slut." I would take that picture, do "Happy holidays from your favorite slut,"
Yes.
Lucas. That would be my Christmas card.
Lucas and
Shannon.
Jessica.
Yeah, me and Jessica on
Yeah.
the couch. It's really romantic. Shannon photoshopped it.
Like Ryan
funny.
Gosling and
But that's
everything.
funny. I like when someone has humor about things. Not everyone has a perfect year. And like
Right.
presenting this image of how everything is so perfect all the time, it just comes off as fake to me. Like
Mine's
unless
not
you have,
perfect. The
unless you have
lenticular
humor
card
about
shows
it.
the kids like jumping on my face on the bed, and it's like, "Hey, here's to a better 2019." It's actually funny.
Yeah.
See,
I
and
like that.
creative. Thank you. You're getting one. You're
I don't mind them. I just think they should all be magnets. Because you have to put it on your refrigerator anyway, or else you throw it in the
Wait,
trash.
no. Oh, there are
What?
so many ways to decorate.
What do you
a
mean? I'm
Christmas
not
card.
putting I'm not putting
No.
up pictures of other people's families over
No,
my house.
here's
Like,
the trick.
I'll throw
Ready?
them on
Over the door
refrigerator.
hanger, tie a ribbon on
No,
top. It
Brit.
falls down. and then-
Over the door hanger, tie a ribbon on top? Are you 75?
Over-
What are you
over
talking
the
about?
Clothespins and you clothespin them down.
I'm not doing that. They need to be a magnet so I can put it on my refrigerator or it's going in the
My
garbage.
refrigerator isn't magnetic.
Yeah, my refrigerator isn't magnetic.
What?
Usually
Over the door hanger for you.
Over the door hanger. I'm gonna be like,
Or string lights with the icicles. You know the icicle string lights in your living room and just.
So wait, how many cards do
yeah, that's
you get
cute.
every
Yeah,
year?
how many did you get?
you must get a
lot.
million.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow sends one to me.
Oh
my God!
Drop! Drop!
I'm out.
Do you have
Name
the Goop
drop.
discount?
No, but she sends me a Christmas card.
Is it just
That's
her and
cool.
his face?
Do that.
How's
though.
Apple doing?
I get photos of Apple. I'm not joking.
Oh, that's cute.
How many do you get though? What's a
Oh,
lot?
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis send me one.
Oh my God, boost.
That's it.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay.
That's
You
all.
need to
Wait,
know
wait,
those
wait.
names.
Do you have any
or-
like
Guys,
to
just
send
get me
you?
more of this. I'll keep going. No,
I
I'm
want to
just
know if like
kidding.
Shia LaBeouf. Like I want someone that
I mean,
like
Cardi
send you
B
to
sent me
card.
one
She
time.
sent you one
No.
for oh, I was like,
That would be awesome.
I was like, Cardi B does not send out.
It was like her and Offset like broken up.
Ritz holiday cards book.
I will take a photo of my ribbon over the door hangers and show you the number of cards I have.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who would do
But I'm
that.
surprised actually because I think it has, at least in my family, but we're not as social used to be, it's gone down the amount we get. And I think also social media has a thing to do with that. But clearly with you, there's still like a, no insults. It's interesting, like
Yeah.
people really
The
send these
tactile.
cards still.
I'm curious, actually, at what age, if you are a family that takes a holiday card, do you stop sending the photo? Like, your kids are going to get married one day.
Right.
And they're going to have kids. What age do you stop doing that? Because
Interesting.
I've
You
seen
do the couple photos again. You just make it
Yeah.
silly. Like
Because
have yourself be a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Just you and the yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some families where one of the children will then get married and they have like the husband in the photo.
Yeah.
Like, at what point do
No.
you?
Oh no.
oh.
No.
The extended family photo?
I don't know what you do.
Or you can recreate. So I like that there's also a meme where you recreate your childhood holiday cards as an adult.
Right.
So that's fun too.
We certainly did not make holiday cards. Did you guys?
I'm gonna make one.
I've got about 7 days
Yeah,
left.
7 days. I'm gonna. Yeah, you know, it's just gonna be on the fly. It's gonna be like a sad girl.
Worships
just trying her best. Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Or like
You
a
and
paperless
Satan.
post. You just like PDF it and send
Yeah.
an email to all your friends.
I'm just gonna do it digital. I don't have money to print it out, but I'll send it to you digitally. It'll be me
Appreciate it.
scissoring Satan and thanking you for all your support.
Oh my God.
I love this so much.
I want that one.
I want that. That one's going on the fridge.
I'll make it. I'll print it
Magnetic.
out for you and make
Thank
it
you.
magnetic.
You guys, it's no secret that rapper Kanye West will go to great lengths to defend himself when it comes to his feud with Drake, which is exactly what happened on Twitter this weekend. Kanye took to social media saying, "So Drake, if anything happens to me or anyone from my family, you're the first suspect, so cut the tough talk." While there was no response from Drake, Kim Kardashian tweeted, "Drake never threatened my husband or our family. He paved the way for there to be a Drake."
I cannot think of two weaker dudes threatening each other. Like, neither of them. Like, is anybody
so
scared of
true.
Kanye or Drake?
No one is afraid of either of them. Also, Kim, shut up.
Yeah, apparently Drake also like got extra security at his house, and I'm like, what are you scared of? Like nothing's
Kris
gonna
Jenner's
happen.
gonna come by and like.
Yeah.
They're gonna give
blow
you a
up.
lip kit. Like it's not gonna happen. Chill.
Kylie's gotta go be like, I'm gonna do your lips.
Oh no, they're plumping up. Oh, my butt's getting bigger. Like chill, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know what they think is gonna happen.
It's like honestly kind of sad. It's like kind of feels like grandpa's fighting. You're like, oh, like why are they doing what happened?
Drake definitely can't fight.
No. I would-
Kanye can't either, but I can't imagine Drake
Wait,
moving.
but all this happened because Drake threatened their family and also contacted Kris Jenner. So it's possibly Kris Jenner is the mastermind behind this whole fight, which I would believe that she's just like,
I would believe.
duel, like
Yeah.
fight to the death. That's like money, money,
like
money.
Gladiator.
Yeah, she's just like, ah.
Do we know the details of this so-called threat?
No, I know.
No.
What, yeah, threatened like Kim's weave line. Like I don't know what was the threat.
But it was a dispute over like music licensing rights, and then it sounds like it escalated really
Right.
quickly. I think it's important to note that Drake has not commented on this at all on Twitter, hasn't responded. On Instagram, he did do an Insta story with some laughing, crying emojis that people are speculating was in response to this, but he hasn't responded.
That means
And
his
he's-
lawyer's involved now.
Yeah.
His
Oh,
lawyer
yeah.
must have told him to shut up. Maybe there's something
and he
real
hired
here.
security for his house outside his home.
But you know actually who had a great response but somehow getting shit for it is Ariana Grande. I thought she actually was appropriate. These two grown men are fighting, but pay attention to me and Miley, two women releasing singles.
Yeah.
But somehow, I don't understand. How is she making fun of mental illness? I don't understand how
She wasn't. She wasn't.
Then how does she have to apologize? It is the most ridiculous, and Ariana Grande has women in general continue to apologize.
Yeah.
Now, not even from men that she's romantically involved with. What is up? I don't
know.
understand. I was being like, what? Ariana Grande, she did nothing wrong. Sorry, I got.
No, this is
No,
the
it's a
drink.
really valid point, and a lot of people on Twitter were saying the
just-
same thing, and like actually retweeted what Rihanna tweeted a couple years ago. It's like, I cannot be held responsible for a man's actions. Like,
Yeah, and at
Yeah.
the end of the entire argument, when they came after Ariana, she responded and she was like, "I wasn't saying any of that."
No.
And She had the perfect response, and she was like, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. This has nothing to do with that. And it obviously had nothing to do with that.
And she's been such an advocate for mental health awareness over the last 2 years.
And then we see Pete Davidson on Instagram saying he's with Kanye, really because you've been against Kanye the entire year.
Right.
And then he posts an Instagram that seems a little scary.
Really, we should just turn off Instagram for 2 weeks for the holidays, so like everyone can calm down a little bit.
I agree.
Like just turn off all the social networks.
I think we should shut down Instagram altogether because the algorithm sucks. I think ever since they left chronological order, everything's been bad, and now people are just using it to misbehave. I think we need to get off Facebook, get off Instagram, teach them a lesson that they can't fuck with us. We're humans, they're websites, they can't control us, and figure it out on our own.
Wait, you're so wise.
Yeah, you really got some like.
We all argue, and Shannon's just like, listen.
She's like, viva la revolution!
I'm like, I'm working on a pop culture show. Who am I?
Yeah, you're our William Wallace.
We're fighting about Christmas cards, and you're like, end Facebook!
I mean, I'm like, it's so crazy. Everyone I know wants to delete Facebook. They're like, oh my God, these websites make me so unhappy. They've like brainwashed my family members. And yet here we are, we're like slaves to them. And they cause so much unnecessary drama. Like, I feel like all this beef is just like fake. People just not communicating.
I know, I wish, I really, after all that Russia stuff came out about Facebook and how they did not do anything with the fake news, I was like, morally, how do I not, Hillary Clinton #1 fan, not delete Facebook, but somehow I couldn't. I just like, I don't know what, I feel I'm disconnected from the world and everything. And it's like, I don't even go on it that much.
I don't go on it either, but I feel like if I delete it and I'm selling and miss all these opportunities.
It's Facebook, YouTube, in the Russian thing, YouTube didn't even give over the data that they asked for, so they had to like pull public URLs and try to piece it together. Like, the tech companies aren't even helping. Sorry,
so the Instagram founders have left Instagram, right? Do you think they're now gonna make the new site?
There's a reason why the Instagram founder left Instagram. I'm like way deep in this world, but like, you know, I think, you know, Facebook realizes it's not gaining share with the younger generation like Shannon, and so Instagram they want to start monetizing Instagram now and thinking about things like advertising, and so Kevin Systrom was like really like proud of the work they had done with Instagram and didn't want to put ads everywhere and clutter it up and the whole user experience and algorithms, and that wasn't going to jive with the business model. And so I think, you know, like they're trying to figure it out, a way to keep the user experience intact, but Kevin's also been there for a long time, so he's off to bigger and better things. I think the answer is a subscription social network that users pay for, that's not advertising driven, so that there aren't algorithms and ways to keep you spending 8 hours a day on it, and you actually get what you want out of the service.
People don't want to pay, right?
$1 a month.
But isn't that why like Facebook like? Facebook could solve so many of its issues but it's already so far down the advertising path. There's a lot of talk in Silicon Valley about a subscription social network.
But people pay for content. I mean, they'll pay for Netflix. They'll pay. I mean, whether it's their parents or whatever, they will pay.
Spotify,
I would
Netflix,
pay $2 to $3 max, I think, for a social network.
That's fine. When you have a billion users, that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually a good idea.
Wow.
Well, then maybe
2019 hypothesis.
Right, and then maybe it's like when these celebrities fight, like, no, I didn't pay for this. Delete. Like, delete their account. Like, did not pay for
But also,
this.
can we just get some of the annoying celebrities off of social media first? Like, Kanye should go. Pete Davidson should go. I mean, he keeps canceling his anyway.
You should have a vote at the end of the year, like pick your account.
You should vote your celebrity off.
Yeah, vote.
Oh, that'd be great.
Reality.
That would be a fun reality.
The president would be immediately removed.
Yeah, can we get our president off of Twitter first? Jesus.
Well,
another news.
With the holidays approaching fast, it's officially crunch time. If you haven't finished buying all your gifts yet, don't stress. Brit & Co. is here to show us some thoughtful DIY ideas you can make in just minutes. Britt,
yes.
We're so glad you're here.
From social networks to DIY. This is just for Allie, actually.
I like DIY.
Yeah. It's not cards. You have 5 ways to make your own Christmas cards today. I'm just kidding.
Roasted.
So actually, though, there are like a lot of things you can make people instead of buying them for the holidays.
I like that.
It tends to be a more thoughtful gift, you know, using your hands and buying things. So we have photos, I think, of what we're going to show off
First, we have the painted leather coasters.
Yeah, so actually, leather coasters come pretty inexpensively. You can get them in the craft stores. You can actually buy them online. And then you just use some like acrylic paint. So we have photos of them to show.
I think they're probably working on it.
There we go, they're working. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh. So literally you can just, like, it could be blobs, it could be lines, it could be whatever, but the idea is it's a little bit abstract. Right. And then they also have these leather stamps. So you just get like a hammer, mallet, and then an alphabet. And you could put, you know, your last name on it.
I
you
love
could
that.
put like Happy Holidays. You could put like Carpe Diem. I don't know, whatever. YOLO.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, whatever saying you want. I think coasters are just like a fun thing that everyone needs. So you can't really go wrong there. And the leather makes it feel like quality, and the customization is kind of what takes it.
I like that. That's a good idea to
like
get
that
your
a lot,
parents
too.
too, because the parents drink.
Did you guys have those little Tandy leather kits when you were a kid? No?
Yes.
Yes. That's what it reminds me of. I love that.
I mean, I own the leather stamping kit because you can actually make like leather bracelets, like dop kits for like men that I know.
Belts and wallets,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
So it's really fun.
So up next we have DIY hand warmers.
Okay, so this is a really, I go skiing a lot. It
Yes.
sounds like you do too.
Yep.
My hands get freezing in the gloves. So this is literally just cutting out fabric, stitching it together and stuffing it with inside with the hand warmers. So you can actually gift these. You can make them really fun, pick out fabrics that you like. You know, they're not the stupid like black ones that you get from the store.
Right.
You actually can reuse these over and over again. You just microwave them for like 30 seconds and then they last all day long. So it's like a fun gift for someone who lives in the cold, who maybe if they're gonna go skiing this winter.
I'm so cold here. I just use hand warmers like every day.
Yeah.
Where do you buy the stuff that goes inside, though?
You can get it from craft store, you can get it online. There's like, you can just Google it. And then there's all kinds of different brands that you buy. It just fills, like hand warmer filling is like what it's called. Yeah.
And up next is stamped napkins.
Well, okay, so this is fun if you're gifting like a drink or a bottle of alcohol,
Oh.
like wine or whatever. It's just a way to take it a little over the top. So you're not coming to your Christmas party being like, here's some wine.
Right.
You can actually like decorate it a little bit. So if you take any random tea towel or piece of fabric, see these marks are just forks. You just dip a fork in some paint and you just like press it down. Like the fork is your stamp.
Cute.
And you're just making like little abstract lines. You can also do this with like, I don't know, potatoes make really cool like polka dots, and like random objects around the house actually make for great stamps.
Yeah, I learned that not too long ago. You could just like carve out a potato and make any stamp you want, like as long as you can draw it. I think that's so cool.
so cool.
I did not know that at all.
That's
Put an A in it or an L, and just like stamp your initials when you give it to somebody. So no, but it's really fun. Then you just tie it around the wine bottle or whatever you might be gifting. You can also make it the wrapping paper for a gift.
Right.
I use like old button-down shirts or sweaters or things that I might not want to keep, and actually that makes for really cool wrapping paper too. It's like upcycling, so you're not ruining the environment, and it's like a different spin.
I love that.
On gift wrap.
I love pairing it with the coasters, too.
There you go. You can do the whole gift set if you want.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's a nice gift.
So I encourage everyone this season to like think of something you could make for somebody. I used to buy my mom a necklace every year, and then one time I made her one, and she never took it off. So it's just like the little thinking that goes into it.
Yeah, usually for me it's like the day of that I need a gift, and I'm like, what can I make? So this is good.
Now you know all you need is grab a potato, and you're pretty much
Grab a
halfway
potato
there.
and a big
I
napkin.
am set.
You're done. You got this. You got this, Alex.
But I love this. Thank you. This is
Thank
really
you.
cool. My mom would love this stuff.
And now it's time for our special guest. Catherine Townsend is a writer and private investigator whose work has been featured on Elle, GQ, and the New York Post. Now she's the host of her very own podcast, Hell and Gone, which takes listeners on a deep dive into the 2004 murder investigation of Rebecca Gould. Here's a special clip from Investigation Discovery of what to expect.
Rebecca was a beautiful, charismatic, fun-loving young woman who had her whole life ahead of her, the type of person who would take the shirt off her back to help anybody in need. At the same time, everyone called Rebecca a Spitfire. On September 20th, 2004, a 22-year-old college student named Rebecca Gould went into a gas station in Melbourne, Arkansas, and she left and was never seen alive again. Rebecca had been staying at a friend's house, and when police searched that house, there was a bloody mattress that had been flipped over and soaked through. There was bloody material, there were trails, and there was also blood in the washing machine. Also, all her things were there. Her cell phone was there, her car was there, her purse was there with money in it, all untouched, but Rebecca was gone.
Woo! Everyone, please give a warm Build Brunch welcome to Catherine Townsend. Woo! So thank you so much for being here, and congrats, because Entertainment Weekly has said your best podcast of 2018, number 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
it was
huge.
great. It was
Yeah.
huge. We're so excited.
Yeah, you must be so excited. So
Very.
tell us about this podcast and what made you want to cover this story.
Well, so I'm from this area of Arkansas, and I just had been hearing about the murder for years. And actually, the victim is a really good friend of my sister's. the victim's sister is a very good friend of my sister's. So I would hear about the case over the years, and then I would go home and like hear bits and pieces, these crazy rumors, and eventually I start thinking like, if the whole town knows who did it, then like why hasn't the case been solved? And then people started telling me why I couldn't do it. You know, oh, it's too far, it's a remote location, no one's been arrested or charged, you know, you shouldn't really try to do this. Well, that just pissed me off and made me want to do it more. And so, yeah, so I started to do this podcast and teamed up with these producers, and we just went down there and decided, we're going to solve this. Yeah. That's how it started.
That's amazing. And so what made you choose to do this on a podcast instead of any other format?
Well, really it was because they were the only people willing to take a chance on a story like this. I work a lot with different crime channels, and no one wanted to touch the story. No one's been arrested or charged. It's legally, you know, difficult. It's also dangerous because it's a really remote area of Arkansas, and so, I mean, I had no cell reception, and parts of it felt like a horror movie, like a real-life horror movie. I'd go knocking on someone's door in the middle of the night by myself, and that was just the reality of the investigation. So, yeah, it was crazy.
You're like a real-life private investigator.
Yes, I'm a licensed private investigator.
Is that what you wanted to be when you were growing up?
I just love solving mysteries.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you reading Nancy Drew every day when you were little?
I did read Nancy Drew, but Nancy Drew, she never drank any alcohol, so as a teenager.
Would you like some?
Like Nancy Drew, alcohol. Yeah, like take that out of your hand.
What are some of the difficulties you face when you're like undergoing investigations? Like you're saying, it's kind of a horror movie. Is that like because you think you're going to get killed?
Yeah, I mean, I do have the fear that someone might murder me, and I mean, I'm kind of a joke about it, but I have very real fears for my safety all the time.
Well, they could be listening.
Well, you're uncovering things people don't want people to know.
Yeah, and they're following your social media too. Yeah. So we were talking about social media. They're on my Facebook. Every time I'd go to meet someone for an interview, I don't know whether it's someone helping me or whether it's the killer, someone working with the killer. I mean, it was real. It's not like a manufactured drama. It's a real life murder investigation.
Do you have security?
No.
Just like, do you know how to fight?
I mean, to be totally honest, I have pepper spray.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, as a girl, everyone should get pepper spray. People talk about guns. I mean, unless you're really good with it and you practice a lot, not something I really want to mess with. I'd probably shoot my foot off. So, yeah, I have.
You feel so passionate that this is something this is like a problem you want to solve for the world and for justice sake.
Exactly. Get pepper spray, though. Every girl should get pepper spray. Public service message.
But what you're doing is important, though, because I've listened to the podcast, and it seems really obvious that something was wrong and that the police department didn't do their due diligence. And so I know her family and a lot of people in the area probably want some answers.
They do, and I mean, here's the thing. It's like, okay, like when you get on a plane, and you want to think that every pilot who flies the plane is like a wonderful professional. You kind of don't want to think too much about it. It's the same with the police. The truth is, with any profession, I mean, there are bad private investigators, bad lawyers, bad, cops sometimes. And in this particular case, and I've worked with a lot of law enforcement over the years, so it's not like I have a problem with the police, but I went in and I had one investigator with the Arkansas State Police tell me, I'm not trying to be patronizing, but investigations are grown-up stuff. Basically that I should mind my own business. I mean, I've been doing this for years. And I was more on the entertainment side and all these types of things. And then that just annoyed me more and made me think, why don't they want me to ask questions? And the question that you're most afraid to ask is like the question you have to ask. So then I just kept going.
You have such an interesting, fascinating background. You began as a staff writer for New York Magazine, moved to London, then made a dating sex column called Sleeping Around for The Independent, which was like kind of, they described as like the modern, younger Sex and the City. And then you became a criminologist. Can you tell us how your journey from there to like now your PI? It's quite amazing.
It sounds like a strange journey, but any woman who's ever dated will tell you that the skills you use in dating and the skills you use in detective work are actually very similar.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, can we give her an award right now?
Gotta weed out those killers.
Yeah.
I mean,
but like real talk.
No, really.
What are your tips for doing that?
Well, first of all, that's a whole nother show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen to what people say is a really good one, because a lot of times, both men and women will be talking to someone, and the person will tell you, hey, I'm not interested in a relationship right now, or I have some skeletons in my closet. And, literally they'll be like, oh no, he'll change. Like, it's gonna be fine and he'll change. And no, they probably won't. It does seem like a strange transition, but actually it made a lot of sense. It's a lot of the same people skills.
Right. So you went to school, detective school, like at 6,000 hours of training, right?
Yeah,
and then
California.
you became a PI. What cases were you interested in exploring and then kind of started investigating?
Honestly, this one, Rebecca's case, was really one of the reasons I became an investigator. It was a huge part of the reason I did that. I wanted to cover murder cases, and of course, as a PI, you start out on other cases like did some infidelity stuff and really missing people. Got some experience with other homicides, all different kinds of cases, really.
Right.
And then came back to this one, the hardest one that I could find. The craziest, hardest one I could find, of course, I'm like, that's the one I have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
What is your research process like as a PI?
It's interesting. This is one of those cases, it really depends on the case. This was one of those cases where you can't get to the bottom of it. You know, we all sleuth on like Reddit and web sleuths and all these, you know, topics, things like that. But this was really a case that you can't do too much online sleuthing on, because there were so many rumors, and you'd read all the rumors, but you weren't really getting, you know, the evidence. So for this one, I literally had to move to the town. I moved into my dad's pool house and just sort of said, okay, I'm staying. I was supposed to stay for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was there for 6 months.
Wow.
And really just started doing the old school, on the ground detective work, figuring out the back roads, driving all the mileage, finding the gas station where she was last seen, tracking down the cashier there. I mean, all these things.
And it's 14 years later, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
14 years later.
It's a lot of work, it sounds like, of you, like the difference between me sleuthing around, as you say, on the internet, is you sort of like really digging your hands in and getting dirty with it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
In a case like this, you really, I had to be on the ground for a long time. I had to be doing the work. I had to be calling all these people, again, not knowing if they're dangerous or not.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a big part of the case. And a lot of people don't know that about detective work either. They think you can, you know, search for anything online. And you can a lot of the time, but no, there's old school detective work. There's no substitute for it.
Yeah.
And then when I was trying to get in touch with those people, 3/4 of the time, you know, I had no cell phone reception. There was one spot in town where I had
That would
reception.
freak me out.
That would freak me out.
Being totally isolated, that sounds like the scariest part.
The horror movie.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
the horror
scary.
movie aspect.
Yeah.
Is there somebody, without giving it away, that really broke the case open for you? Because I've just started listening, so I'm like, I'm in this.
I'll say this. There were 3 main rumors in the beginning, I mean, there were hundreds, but there were 3 main theories. There was sort of what I call the police theory, and that was that a drug dealer had sort of done it, and someone helping him, that it might have been about drugs. There was a theory that a girl had done it, or a girl or a group of people, and that she'd really been killed at a party over that weekend. So then we have to figure out her last weekend. And then, of course, there's her boyfriend.
Right.
And he was the only person who was ruled out as a suspect very early in the investigation. So we have these 3 theories, and I just sort of had to explore them all, see where the evidence took us. She was killed. The crime scene was this boyfriend's house. The sheets had been washed. You know, the body had been moved. It was just a really strange murder. Yeah. And then later we get a sort of someone who, without saying everything, really gives us a big piece of information.
I cannot wait to listen.
When you watch like crime dramas, like How to Make a Murder, are you like, I got it, I know exactly who did it?
Yeah, an ex-boyfriend once said, no one wants to watch a crime show with me. Because in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, yeah, it's that person. Although a lot of times it's the guest star. Come on, you know.
I have so many questions for you.
So what do you watch for fun? Because I just watch like murder stuff and I listen to these murder podcasts. This is my jam, but you must want an escape. So what do you do for fun?
It's funny, like I do love them and I do like listening to them. But when I was back there, I was watching Sharp Objects, right?
Oh my God! I got to ask.
I was really enjoying it, but I'm like, this is a little too real.
Yeah.
This is a little too real. I need to switch this off. Girl goes home, tries to solve murder, you know, in this town and gets involved. And also, like, now I'm sort of involved with all these people who are involved with the suspect. It was a little.
So are there plans for this podcast to be adapted into an HBO type show? Because I would want to.
A real one?
Yeah, we'll put that out there.
We're putting it out there.
Yes.
We put things out there on this show.
Yeah, we're always visualizing for others.
Yeah, Emma Stone can play me, and we're ready to do it. Ready to go. Yeah, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it.
Listening HBO.
All right.
We can't wait to watch it.
Fingers
Well, I
crossed.
can't wait to watch that
available.
show.
Thank you.
Catherine, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You can listen and subscribe to Hell and Gone on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and Stitcher. That's all from us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table.